Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Rubbings Racing Channel, broadcasting live from the planet Earth and representing the voice of Rubbings Racing. I am your host, Kenbo76. Welcome back, everybody. Sunday night, round 2 of the GT3 series here, and we're taking place at Imola. If you joined in and tuned us, Thursday Night Lights, this week was our 25th anniversary, or 25th running of Thursday Night Lights. We did it in the GT4s here at Imola. Today, this is a championship race, though. Round 2 of our second season of 2020. Time is flying by, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't remember if it was the second or third season last Sunday, if you're just tuning in, or if you don't remember. Anyway, I correct myself. It is our second season of 2020. This is our second round. So a lot of twos in there. If you're superstitious and you like twos, we're going to see here. Riding along with Thornton Schmidt, currently setting a pole at a 142.6. We've seen some 143s in practice, but I don't know if we've seen any 142s. Great lap by him. Currently now setting a pole. Wow, that's an impressive lap. Like try to meet our guys throughout the field here. Thornton Schmidt, you seen him last week. You've seen him in several other series. If you watch, I believe it was the Touring Clark lap. I can't believe it. I don't know what series it was, ladies and gentlemen. But regardless, fast all over the track. Thorsten Schmidt, as we watching, I'm not sure, Travis. I think this is Trav. I know there's Travern. I got to go back to the timing sheets here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Travis with a CH is in the... and then Travern. So, oops, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get it figured out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that silence. Uniclark in the pits. Duftino, seen him very good last week in some pretty good battles at Silverstone. Ended up losing the sprint race, I believe, to Thorsten Schmidt by a second. I don't know if that was the sprint or if that was the main race. I can't remember, but... great battles between them two. You see Duftino right now in that yellow Lamborghini, that number 77. Boy, that thing looks really sharp. Almost looks like a tiger coming through here. Imola's a very tricky track, ladies and gentlemen. Full damage is on for this season. We're going to switch it up just a little bit to try to cool some of the guys down here. Very good race last week in the GT3 at Silverstone. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, it was absolutely epic. Duftino right now currently 2.8 seconds off of the lead. Going to keep an eye on some of these faster guys here. Bruce into that McLaren coming up the hill here, doing a great job as well. Did a really good job last week in that McLaren. I was really impressed with it because I can't do anything with it ever. Bruce in that orange McLaren, you see him coming down the hill towards Aqua Mineral. Not sure if who else is running that at all, but anyway, Bruce, like I said, 2 seconds behind the lead. Got a little bit of information on him. 32 years old. He's from Chester, UK. Usually races and hosts for Curb Clipper Sim Racing, but has been branching out to other leagues and groups. Says runner-up in Actual Vision's Endurance League twice and loves anything LMP. We have seen him in the LMP series, and he is pretty fast, ladies and gentlemen. Currently, Thorsten Schmidt running... holding that top position. Demobi coming in 8/10 behind him in the pits right now. Yasko into that 666 MP Lamborghini flying around the track, ladies and gentlemen. Doing a great job right now. You see, he was in the 143s in practice. I didn't see anybody hit 142s, and boy, that is impressive by Thorsten Schmidt. Yasko now trying to set a lap as well. Second, he's been with Rubbings Racing here since the beginning. This is probably his third or fourth season now that he's running, but like I said, second season here of 2020, and he is another participant looking for good things out of his camp today as well. It's PT, ladies and gentlemen, in that Mercedes AMG power coming up over Aqua Mineral here. Headed up towards the chicane. Looking pretty good right now. 1.1 seconds off the lead. We're running a 143.7, so we see a lot of quick times there between second and fifth place. 143.5 to 143.7. That's all that separates them guys, and then it's about another second back to Uniclark. Uniclark also in that AMG, but sitting in the pits as well. Bruce Law coming in at a 2 seconds behind the lead. Duftino still trying to make time up. You see him coming downhill up towards Aqua Mineral out of turn 8. And coming up the hill here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if he can improve his time at all lines, but looks like he's rocking the Ferrari. I think that's the first Ferrari I've seen out here so far. Had a car change, yeah. I knew he was in something different last week, but going to the Ferrari this week, you can hear that distinctive sound of that Ferrari as it winds up through the gears. Has to try to get accustomed to his new vehicle this week. Looks like he's having a little bit of issues here getting it dialed in for the sprint race. Currently 3.6 seconds, but maybe trying to get them tires warmed up. Evan MG out here in the Porsche, doing a good job. Running 146.9 right now, about 4.4 seconds off the pace. Always good to have him out on track as well. As we continue to go down through the list here, ladies and gentlemen. Watching Evan come around, and I have the map here. I got to find my map, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little confused. I'm trying to read bios and get maps and all this stuff here. I know I just did this Thursday night, and I know I should remember, but I don't. I have a whole lot of things going on over here in the States with all this virus craze and knowing what to do, not what to do, when to do it, who's allowed to do it, and where we can do it. It's been crazy, so trying to keep track and bring all this action to you guys here as we start winding down this qualifying session. Watching Evan going around the track in that Porsche. There's a couple other ones out here, I think, but that's the first one we kept an eye on. I know Demobi's in a Porsche, and Thorsten Schmidt's also in a Porsche as well. Going down here to see what Mr. Silverstone's up to in that Audi. Oh, that Audi's a good-looking car. Sounds good. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remain in the session, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, 4:20 remaining in the session. If you want to get involved in what you see on track, www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. That'll get you your ticket to some of the cleanest, fastest sim racing for Project Cars 2 on the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 4. Yeah, PlayStation 2. What am I thinking? PlayStation 4 network. Too many twos. See, I got twos on the mind. Second season, second race of our second series in 2020. Something's weird, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, back to what I was saying. If you want to also donate to the cause, you can go to that same website, buy us a coffee, where it says buy us a coffee. We always enjoy a coffee. All of the donations and proceeds always go back into the community, as everybody here does this for free. Everything goes back into prizes and stuff like that for the drivers. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's head to the stream here as we're watching NRP try to improve his time right now. Coming around turn 7. I called it turn 8 earlier. It's turn 7. It's starting up the hill to turn 8 here. Jeff Sharp chiming in. Evening, Ken. As always, the title says GT5. Oh, see, I did it last week too. Thank you, Jeff. I don't know if I can change that until afterwards. I don't know if anybody says it anyway, but regardless, if they tune in, they'll see that they're GT3s. Anyway, the console chiming in saying Demobi was wicked around here on Thursday night. Wonder if he can form has carried right now. He's currently 9/10 off of Thorsten Schmidt with these track limits and these track penalties with full damage. Thorsten Schmidt has figured something out. He must have had no fuel and that thing taped up to the max to put that kind of lap time in. A 142.5 is blistering around here. J Palm says this can be absolute Porsche domination. And watch out for these track limits. Yes, yes, yes. And good evening, J Palm. Thank you for tuning in. As we get winding down here, about 2 minutes left in this qualifying session. Watching NRP as he comes up across the line. See if he can do any improvement on his time as he comes across the line here, ladies and gentlemen, with about 2 minutes remaining in this session. Probably going to get another lap in. Maybe 2 more. You see him come across the line, not able to improve his time. Going to go take it back to the garage, maybe wrench on it once or twice more and see what's happening. Duftino coming down the hill here towards Aqua Mineral to see him shaking his car there, probably on an out lap. Went back to the pits, maybe put a little more force, a little more wing in it. Adjust the tire pressure, try to get a little more speed out of that. What's Dark Ninja up to? Dark Ninja all the way in the back, also in that Audi. That Audi is a great looking car. I'm actually in the market right now to buy an Audi. Looking at a A3 Quattro. I think it's a, yeah, A3. Yeah. I think that's what we're looking at. Anyway, super, super nice cars. Very well designed. I can only imagine how well the race cars are here. Looks like Dark Ninja's doing a great job right now. In 13th place right now. Got to find a little bit more speed out of that thing to try to make it up there to some of these other guys. You can see right now he's about 2 2 seconds off of Evan, which is in 12th place. So needs to find some kind of speed. Maybe got a late start on the qualifying effort here, not sure, but going to keep an eye on that time as well. It's PT once again in that AMG out there, currently sitting in the top 5. You know, them AMGs are very powerful and very fast in a straight line. But, boy, they can be a little tricky around some of these corners here. So to stick with that big bad boy for the rest of this season, it's got to be an absolute handful. And speaking of this season, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to where we are going to be next week. If you're interested in where we're going to be next week, I have it here somewhere. Last week we ran our first round of Silverstone. This week you're watching it live here at the Rubbings Racing Channel at Imola. Next week we will be at Spa with the GT3. So next week is going to be absolutely fantastic, as we got 20 seconds left in this qualifying session before these guys got to start putting in their final laps before the timer starts running down here. It's PT in that AMG. I know Uniclark in the AMG as well. Still in the pits. Must be happy with his effort there. Bruce Law also in the pits in that McLaren. Happy with his efforts here. Yasko still out on track. Still wants to get that pole and get up there and be able to dance with Thorsten Schmidt. I think these guys are going to be leaning on each other here. This is a very tight, technical track. Anybody who runs this track knows it's an absolute pain in the you-know-what. So, as a driver, I am absolutely satisfied sitting in a booth watching these guys try to navigate this. It's always impressive watching them come around the corner, turn 8, just like Thorsten Schmidt did right there. I can never maintain control. And then same here, coming down the hill, I always spin it out. Coming up through Aqua Mineral, up to the top of the hill, Thorsten Schmidt really doesn't have anything to prove other than to himself that he can go faster than he already did. Let's see if he can do it, ladies and gentlemen. Currently at 142.549 as we have 1 minute and 20 seconds final remaining in him. When the timer hits 0, we will go to the screen or the lobby and get ready to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for tuning in. 20 minutes is what the lap time is, or what the race is going to be at about 2 minutes a lap. You're looking about 10 laps or so, maybe 10, 11 laps for the sprint race. Somewhere around 22, 23, give or take a few laps for the feature, if you're wondering. Duftino still out on a lap. Looks like he's not really getting on in here, just cooling the car down. And Evan's still out there giving it power, coming around the final corners here. Looks like he got a little bit of damage on his hood. He's going to try to improve his time. 4.4 seconds off of the lead. See if he can try to put anything between him and the leader here as he comes to the line. Looks like the final car out there right now. All eyes on him. Evan coming to the line. Can he improve? He does not, ladies and gentlemen. Currently 12th place. So that is the running order. Thorsten Schmidt with a blistering 142.5 out front. Nobody able to touch that time. Jasko BR with another impressive running 143.2, rounding out the top of the list. And then Demobi and Travis starting on the second row. It's PT Duftino on the third. Bruce Law, Uniclark on the fourth row. Travern and Lion's Foot round out the top 10. NRP, Evan, and Dark Ninja are the final contestants here, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. We're going to get these guys ready to go. Grab your popcorn. It is going to be a show. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 30 seconds remain till we go green here. These guys wishing each other luck, asking each other what tire compounds they are on, trading a little bit of information here. Thorsten Schmidt on the right of your screen in that green Porsche. Jasko in that Lambo on the red 666 on your left, ladies and gentlemen. As we get ready to go green, and we are green, we are off, ladies and gentlemen. Side-by-side action. Damage is on. These guys have to be careful coming down to turn 1. They got to be very careful and respectful toward each other as they come through. It's corner 1. Looks like corner 2. I'm sorry. Looks like Demobi now up to third. Thorsten Schmidt now through there as well. Duftino coming through. Travern coming through. Looks like everybody got through the first corners with absolutely no issues. As you keep an eye on the battle here, ladies and gentlemen, you see Travis, or I think that's Travis with a CH, I believe, in fourth place. Yes, Travis with a CH in fourth place. You've seen him in that McLaren there, doing a great job in that position as they come out of turn 7 and start up the hill towards turn 8. Piratella, I guess. Watching these guys do a great job. This is 20-minute session, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, this is our second round of our second series of our GT3 here, as we're watching Thorsten Schmidt just lay down the law. Coming up over Aqua Mineral, being followed closely by Jasko and Demobi as we go on board with Demobi. to this cam here. It's going to cycle through Summer here, and you're going to keep an eye on this action, ladies and gentlemen. Third place, you see Yasko right in front of him, and then you see his teammate, it looks like Thorsten Schmidt out in front. Going to the stream, it looks like the console says unusual to see Yasko so off the pace as he's sandbagging. Doesn't look like he's sandbagging. It looks like he's just struggling here. It says, not sure what the world record is with the Porsche, but probably Thorsten is probably really close. Yes, I do agree. That was a pretty fast lap as we're coming from Demobi's view here. Let's go back through the pack and see what Bruce Law is up to in that McLaren, dropping back to 8th place, doing a great job. In that McLaren, able to keep up with some of these guys as they're pretty fast guys are going through the field here. Duftino currently in 5th place as they're coming down through the first corners here. And Yasko off of the pace. What is going on with Yasko? Let's go see what's him back off the pace. We got Travis with a CH now off the pace as well. Let's go back to the track and see what's happening here. Off the pace, Duftino able to get around Travis, and it's PT also now climbing onto the back of Travis. Not able to get around him in that AMG, but Travis has all kind of problems with that McLaren there, all kind of handling. You see Uniclark also in that mint green and black AMG coming up the hill out of turn 7. Very cool paint scheme. Looks like my favorite ice cream, ladies and gentlemen. Mint chip is my favorite ice cream if you want to know that. If you want to buy me some ice cream, you can always donate. www.aerobicsracing.com. Hit that buy me an ice cream button, or buy me an ice cream. I don't know. Just trying to get free ice cream. Watching Uniclark now in 7th place, coming up over Aqua Mineral, being closely followed by Bruce Law in that McLaren as well. Look at the line of guys coming down through. You can see Travern coming through, NRP in that Audi all the way in the back. Lionsfoot in the Ferrari as well, and then Dark Ninja in that Audi. So the Audis look like they're struggling today, but boy, these Porsches. Now you got Thorsten Schmidt and Demobi. Yasko, we've seen him off the track in turn 2 and 3, somewhere in that first big chicane area. Lost the position to Demobi, and now is fighting for his life now. Duftino in that Lamborghini, that yellow Lamborghini right behind him, that 666 MP being driven by Yasko, and that number 4 position in that yellow, not sure what sponsor that is, but in the yellow Lamborghini, that is a Duftino there, that number 77. So these two guys here are going to be battling it out. It's PT coming into the frame, still being followed closely by Trav and PC. And what happened to Bruce Law? Looks like Bruce Law gets off of the pace and collects Uniclark as well. Looks like they may be the only two involved. Scotty may also have been involved. Yeah, Scotty's through, but there's a looks like Dark Ninja off of the pace there into the wall. These guys may have to come into the pits and repair that damage. You got to be careful coming through turn 1, 2, and 3, guys. There may be a little bit of damage laying around. There was an accident there. Them guys got off the pace. Don't know if there's any parts laying around. Thorsten Schmidt, meanwhile, out in the front of this pack with about 5 minutes out of the session here, but Demobi doing a great job in behind him, and Duftino rounding out the field here, as we're going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to get rid of the interface and just watch these guys race here. I'll put the map on for you, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see where they are at. As we see Thorsten Schmidt, Demobi, Yasko, and Duftino now, the top 4. You can see it's PT and Travis with a CH coming into the frame right behind them. They are the top 5 and 6 guys as they're coming down through the final chicane. Down the hill here towards turn 14, Rivaza. And it's a very tricky, difficult section too, because you can get really wide, especially when you're behind somebody. It can really mess with your aero. And watching all these guys now, you see Thorsten Schmidt separating himself pretty good between these 3 guys, but right now Demobi, Yasko in that red car, and Duftino in that 77. These guys are really starting to work on each other here as they come across the line, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the monitors here. We got 14 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the session. A little over halfway to go yet. It looks like Duftino gets sideways into the wall. Careful, guys, coming into turns 2, 3, and 4. Got a car off of the track, coming back on. You see it's PT and Travis with the CH gets by. Duftino back to 6th place. Let's go back up here and see what Yasko and Demobi are up to. Demobi now loses a spot to Yasko. Didn't see that action as we were watching these guys behind us. What's going on with Demobi? We've seen him struggling a little bit off of the pace last week at Silverstone. We know he did get a new wheel, a new direct drive wheel, podium direct drive wheel. I believe that's what he told us on the Discord. So we kind of blamed it on the wheel last week, but we've seen some of the times he put in this past weekend. We're pretty sure it's not the wheel. He was just trying to get adjusted to his new equipment here, and I think he's going to be absolutely fine, ladies and gentlemen. He is back in action here. Currently running third place, 2 seconds off of the lead. Thorsten Schmidt is just laying it down. Let's look at some of the timings right now. Thorsten Schmidt, this is best lap, is a 144.3. That looks like about top of the field. Duftinho, though, is running a 143.9. So Duftinho currently running the fastest lap. And the only guy really in that ballpark next to him would be Thorsten Schmidt at 144.3. We got some 144.7s, 0.5s, 0.8. So everybody's pretty close there, except for Duftinho. He really got down into the 143s. I don't see anybody close to the 142s like we've seen in qualifying here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's still an impressive time by Duftinho. Currently in 6th place right now. We've seen him have a unfortunate event in turns in the first big chicane, turns 2, 3, and 4. Got off the track a little bit, able to regain, but now lost 3 more positions and back to 6th place. Now it looks like he's in a battle with this McLaren. You know, and I like watching these McLarens come around the track because they sound so good. And you know, they're one of my favorite cars in the game. And what happened with the Travis there? Travis gets off track. Comes back on, misjudges the braking zone there, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, another position has switched. Duftinho now back up in the top 5 right now. Travis with the CH behind him. Travern, however, we've seen him back here into that Audi, and that number 44, that's the first Audi on the track. NRP also running that Audi. Both of these guys, looks like those Audis are having a little bit of trouble here, as you can see him hit that WMD sign. Unintentional, I'm sure, just trying to gain control of these cars that come around the track. Lions Foot in that Ferrari being chased by Uniclark. Seen Uniclark off the track. Some of these guys, some of the guys may have gone into the pits. I do see another guy into the pits. They're not out on track. We have 11 guys on track right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all of the comments and all your love and support on the stream. Jeff Sharp chiming in saying Thornton has been brilliant the last few weeks. He has. He's been pretty impressive here, and he's doing it in style today. You can see right now, all by himself. You see the Jasko now and Demobi. There's separation between these two. It's PT should be coming into the frame also with Duftinho right behind him. See Travis with the CH. They round out the top 6. About another 4 or 5 seconds back to Travern and NRP coming down the hill. Both of these guys in the Audi running similar lap times. Running similar lines on the track. Uniclark now being followed closely by Lions Foot and Bruce Law rounding out the field, ladies and gentlemen. Thorsten Schmidt out front all by himself. Let's go see here what this battle's up to between Jasko and Demobi right now. Demobi looks like he's struggling just a little bit with maybe some grip here on the track, trying to get back around Jasko for his teammate. J. Palm's chiming in saying, good save, Duftinho. Yeah, it was a pretty good save. He did go off track here. I thought he was going for the wall. I can't believe it. I got one of the guys chiming in saying he can't race. His steering wheel is pretty much done for, man. That's unfortunate. If you can get it reworking, you can re-enter back in the sprint or in the feature race, bud. I promise we won't kick you out. But thank you guys for all your comments on the stream. Jasko and Demobi right now coming around turn 8. Headed down the hill. Where is It's PT? It's PT should be coming into the frame, coming down the hill right now with Duftinho very close to him. This is a battle right now for 4th place, and Travis with the CH and that McLaren off of the pace a little bit, was on the back of Duftinho. Pretty close and behind him, but it looks like he fell off the pace a little bit. Looks like Nicky and Travern, both of these guys in those Audis, both of those Audis sound really good, look really good coming up over the hills. These guys are still locked in the battle here. Halfway through, ladies and gentlemen, there's 9 minutes and 45 seconds. I missed the halfway point, but halfway through this first session, 20-minute session, no pit stop required, but some guys did have to go into the pits due to the full damage being on in this series, ladies and gentlemen. This is our second race of our second round of our second season of 2020. You got all that? Say it fast 3 times and say it in reverse. And send me a text to let me know how it worked out for you. Anyway, at Imola, that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Imola, and it's an absolutely fantastic race so far. Thorsten Schmidt just putting a separation between him and Jasko right now. Demobi putting a little bit more time in between him and Jasko. But Jasko doing a brilliant job in that Lamborghini. Those Lamborghinis sound so good. They're so fun to drive too here. Some guys are really, really good at them. It's PT coming into the frame. Seen him coming back now with Duftino in tow. And then Travis with a CH behind him coming as they come around turn 7. Start up the hill towards the my dreaded turn 8. This big, giant left-hand sweeping corner. I don't like it. I never did. I never claimed to like it, and I'm not good at it. But very, very solid as they come through turn 8. Up on top in that Lamborghini, and you see It's PT in that Mercedes. Going to keep an eye on this battle here for a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, and see what's happening here. You see to your left and gets back in behind It's PT. You see Travis with the CH coming up over the back of the hill there. And looks like these guys are pretty much in a locked battle right now. This is position right now for 4th place. It's PT has it in that blue and red. That blue and yellow red stripe. It's a pretty cool livery there. I'm not sure what it's a Hot Wheels. That's what it is. Yeah, it's the actual Hot Wheels AMG. And doing a great job trying to fend off that Lamborghini driven by Duftino. We know the AMG is faster and more powerful in them straight lines, but don't count the Lamborghini out when it comes to the handling and performance around a track like this. And right now you can just hear the pipes and hear those mufflers roaring on that AMG as he comes across the start-finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 8, 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this session as they come through turns 2 and 3. Duftino still on the back, close on the rear of It's PT, as you've seen him earlier spin out. You've seen Travis with the CH go out around Duftino. Duftino able to get back out around him about lap 6 or so, and now he's working on it's PT. It's PT now to the inside, Duftino to the outside. Let's get rid of this interface as these guys try to battle. Coming up the hill here towards turn 8, making all the horsepower they can. The AMG on your right, the Lamborghini on your left here, driven by Duftino, and it looks like the AMG is going to make the move to the inside. That AMG just sounds really good, but those screaming pipes of that Lamborghini are really making some noise behind him. It's PT's got to know he's back there looking in the mirror. In through Aqua Mineral, back up over the hill. A lot of elevation in this track, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't do my homework on the information on this track, but if you're just tuning in, we are at Imola right now, coming to the final chicane, which is turns 11 and 12. And it's starting down the hill here towards turn 13 and then 14 and 15. So keeping an eye on this battle here as we continue to see what's going on here. Lee Kendall chiming in. Change car again for NRP. Yeah, he went back to the Audi. I'm not sure what he's gonna do yet. So, but NRP with full damage on. About 6 minutes remain in this session. Still, Duftino is not able to get around this AMG driven by It's PT. Let's go see what Demobi and Yasko are up to right now. 2 seconds behind the lead. There's all 3 of the leaders, or all 3 of the top 3, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Thorsten Schmidt holding that 2.2 second lead there pretty consistently. Demobi now coming up on the back of Yasko as Yasko tries to defend from a hard-charging Demobi. He's been riding behind him the whole entire race. Seen Demobi made a mistake in one of the first sectors of the racetrack there. Yasko able to take advantage and get back out around him. So that's your top 3, ladies and gentlemen, separated by 2 seconds. 10 seconds back to Duftino. He's probably coming up the hill right now, still in this locked battle with It's PT. It's PT in that Mercedes, and just like they were last time through, ladies and gentlemen. It's PT still out front in that AMG, doing a great job keeping that horsepower down on the track, but here they come down the hill. You see It's PT to your inside. Duftino goes way out wide on that corner. Let's take a look at some of the penalties here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's happening right now. Yasko with a 4-second penalty. Oh, that's costly for him. You have Demobi also with a 4-second penalty. Duftino with a 4-second penalty. So all these guys must have been following each other. They're going to cancel each other out for that position because it's 11 seconds back to It's PT. But It's PT right now, it looks like he's going to be in a good position to take that top 4 position away from Duftino because these guys are all 2 seconds or 10 seconds behind the leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Keep on going down through the list. Travis with the CH, also with a 2-second penalty. Travern with a 1-second penalty, and Uniclark with a 2-second penalty. That is our penalties, ladies and gentlemen, as we on the timing screen here. Get rid of the timing list and continue to watch these guys race. Thank you guys once again for tuning in, all your love and support. If you're interested in what you see and want to get involved in becoming and making Rubbings Racing a better community, www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. Always free, always fast, always friendly, and very competitive, ladies and gentlemen. This is our GT3 series happening Sunday nights GMT 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, Sunday nights 8 o'clock GMT time, ladies and gentlemen. Always here Sunday nights for the remainder of the season. This is our second week. It's a 6-week season, so we have 4 weeks remaining in this series, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch these guys battle for 7th, 6th, or 7th, 8th, and 9th place. Una Clark all the way in the back. The Moby now taking that third, no, still in third place. These are the leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Thorsten Schmidt losing about 1 second now to Yasko. What's going on with Thorsten Schmidt? May have been pushing the car too hard. Not sure if maybe he overheated the car a little bit with about 2 minutes or about 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this session, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to lap 10. We're going to keep coming up to lap 11 here, so we're at least going to have 23 laps of racing it for our feature, and it's going to be they're calling for rain towards the end of the race, so we're going to keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be very interesting. Just some light rain they're calling for, so going to keep an eye on that as we watch these leaders battle it out. Thorsten Schmidt, Yasko, and Demobi are the top 3, and this is pretty much the way they've been running the entire race, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 14 seconds back to Travis with a CH. What happened to Duftino? Duftino and It's PT. What happened to It's PT back to 6th place? Travis with the CH, able to capitalize there somewhere. Didn't see what happened, but Travis with the CH able to capitalize and get up to that top 4 position there. 2 seconds in front of Duftino. Does Duftino have enough time to try to wrestle that position back away from him? This is what we're going to keep an eye on here, ladies and gentlemen. Mindful that the race is almost over. Let's go here and see what Yasko's up to now. Putting hard pressure on Thorsten Schmidt, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping an eye on this battle for the lead. A minute and 39 seconds remain in this session. Probably get one more lap after this in as they come down the hill out around Aqua Mineral. Starting back up the hill. Yasko saved it all for the end the last time. We were out at Silverstone, and here he comes again, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very, very good at the end of these races. I like to refer to him as the closer. That's what I've always called him. And you see the closer coming right now, trying to make a run at Thorsten Schmidt. Demobi sitting back watching all this happen. No, these guys have to be delicately careful around each other, trying to make a pass as the track temperature is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 111 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm sorry, with an outside degree of 87 degrees. Bruce Law looks like he disconnected. Hopefully he's able to get back on for the feature race and get him back on. So right now, keeping an eye on the battle for this lead. Looks like this is going to be the final lap as they come to the line, ladies and gentlemen. 40 seconds remain in this session, and somewhere 40 seconds from now, this race is going to end. It's going to be a mad dash to the line. Keeping an eye on this battle as Yasko in that red Lamborghini is chasing our pole sitter, Thorsten Schmidt, into that green Porsche, ladies and gentlemen. Thorsten Schmidt on the pole, setting the pole at 142 and change. Nobody can touch him. Sitting on the pole, has led almost this entire race, I believe the entire race, but now under attack by a hard charging Yasko VR in that 666. You see him put a little bit of bumper to him there. Not enough to make an impact, but just letting him know that he's there, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an absolutely epic finish as these guys come up the hill. 7 up to Piratella. Out around turn 8, starting down the hill. Looks like Yasko getting out a little bit wide. Go back to the timings there, ladies and gentlemen. And now there is a 4-second penalty to Yasko, but now Thorsten Schmidt has a 1-second penalty as of right now. So Yasko would have to get around him or hope that Thorsten makes a mental mistake, which we haven't seen at all, ladies and gentlemen. Getting rid of that interface. Going to get rid of the map as well, just in case you guys are recording this at home for your own editing features for Rubbings Racing. Coming down the hill for the final time. Thorsten Schmidt is probably guaranteed the victory, but it looks like Yasko VR wants to try to make a statement and get across that line first. They know what's at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. Full damage is on Yasko, not giving up, even though he has the 2nd penalty or 3-second penalty on Thorsten, but still wants to prove a point. Getting to the line first. His fans, everybody. Thorsten Schmidt coming across the line first, ladies and gentlemen. Yasko coming across in second. Demobi crossing the line in third. That is your top three, ladies and gentlemen. Back here, Travis with the CH coming out of the final corner, ladies and gentlemen, being under pressure by Duftino as they come down to the line. Does Duftino have anything? Can he do anything with Travis coming to the line? Travis looked like he was able to hold him off, take advantage of a situation that we missed on stream, and looks like coming to the line. Travis takes it in fourth. Duftino flashing his lights, and it's PT coming across. It's PT now up to fourth. We forgot about the time penalties there. NRP coming across the line in seventh place, ladies and gentlemen. Travern now still in a battle with Uniclark, Clement across the line, 8th, Uniclark 9th, and Scotty switching to the Ferrari late in the decision making in the 10th place. Hopefully some of the guys that dropped out can come back in here after the race. We'll go to the leaderboard and get the official results here for our records. Thorsten Schmidt takes it in style. Best lap is a 144.3 blistering lap. We've seen Duftino had that 143.9 that nobody was able to beat. So congratulations, Duftino, running the fastest lap. Congratulations to Thorsten Schmidt for taking another impressive win, and Jasko VR for a great fight there at the end. Demobi and his top three finish. It's PT coming in the top four, and Travis with a CH able to capitalize and take that top 5 position, ladies and gentlemen. That is our sprint race. Stay tuned. That was 12 laps. It'll be 25 laps, ladies and gentlemen, for the feature with a warm-up lap. So 24 laps of racing. Stay tuned. Give us about 10 minutes. These guys are going to stretch their legs, and then we'll get back at it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the race here. We're getting ready to go green, but we're going to do a warm-up lap. I'm going to call these guys out, and they're going to form up here. They know the deal. Looks like Lion's Foot's going to go to the lead. Uniclark up second, please. Travern to third. NRP to fourth place, please. Got Duftino going to fifth place. Travis with a CH up to sixth place, please. It's PT up to 7th place. Demobi occupy the 8th place, please. Yasko VR up to 9th place. And Thorsten Schmidt round out the top 10. And then we have Evan in the final position, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the race. 25 laps, but 24 laps under green here with a mandatory pit stop. Full damage is on. It is going to be... mainly cloud or medium cloud to light rain in this one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why the forecast says clear, but I put it to medium cloud to light rain, so I'm hoping it did it right. I'm hoping it saved it. I'm pretty sure it did. Anyway, Lion's Foot leading the field around here, coming out of turn 7 up the hill. This is our feature race for GT3s here, Sunday night. This is round 2 of our series at Rubbings Racing, of our GT3 series, round 2 at Imola. Scotty coming around turn 8 here, setting the pace of the field. You see Uniclark starting up in second, had a spin, got a little tangled up there in the sprint race, hoping to recover, getting a great start here as you see him come down through the field. Travern into that Audi. I believe that is Travern in that Audi, correct? Okay, yeah, Travern. Yeah, Travern is in the Audi. I was hoping that was correct. Travern taking that 3rd place position. NRP in that other Audi. There's 2 Audis on track, side by side again in the lineup. They were side by side during the entire sprint race. So here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Duftino rounding out the top 5. Travis with the CH. You can see him way in the back there, coming down the front or the back stretch here towards his final chicane. See him in the McLaren as well. You see it's PT coming in the McLaren, the Mercedes. You see Demobi, 3rd place in the race, sprint race, coming in 8th. Epic battle between Yasko in 9th place and Thorsten Schmidt, our pole sitter and our race winner in the sprint, and Evan rounding out the top 11 there, ladies and gentlemen. As they come down the hill here, looks like they're going to start getting side by side, start forming up. 1st place always on the right side, 2nd place always on the left side as they get ready, ladies and gentlemen, to come to the flag. No pit stops on this warm-up lap. We announced that in the lobby. If anybody does have to pit, they will have to take a penalty lap. So coming down through the line, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on the speedometer here, as all these guys are now lined up, and anytime he gets past pit road, he could probably put the pedal down, come around this corner. Going to keep an eye on that speedometer here. And he goes green, 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 push the pedal down. That Ferrari takes off, gets a great hole shot, but Clark in that AMG behind him. Looks like the Audis are spread side by side, but get back in line. Duftino in that 5th place position now in the Lamborghini. Watching all these guys come down through the field here. Watching these guys in the back of the pack, still side by side. Duftino side by side with Travis with the CH. See the Audi still out front. It looks like we got a battle for the lead now. Clark taking on the outside. Looks like Duftino goes way, way wide in that Lamborghini. Evan also going way wide in the back there. Got to sort it out. Clark now able to take that position away from Scotty. But both of these guys into the dirt. Apologies on the track there. Wasn't expecting the braking zone. And look who is in the lead of this race, ladies and gentlemen. That Audi, driven by Mr. Silverstone. Nicky, 33 from the UK, lives in Silverstone, works at the track, loves everything motor, always has a fan base on here today, and trying his luck here in the Audi as they come around turn 8, but being closely tracked and followed by Travis with the CH coming down through there, and then Travern in 3rd place now in that other Audi. So the Audi's doing a good job early in this race, ladies and gentlemen. It's supposed to go to light rain. We're going to see what happens here. I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, my apologies. They did call for it, but we will see what happens. 120 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. 89 degrees is the outside temperature, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping an eye on this battle now. And Demobi in the tangle, getting around Scotty's going backwards in that Ferrari, back to 6th place as Demobi now starting in 10th place, making up half the positions in just one lap now, trying to put that Audi under pressure as they come around the final corner here, or next to the final corner, lap to turn 15, up towards turn 16. Still everybody in a big line here, still drafting at Imola as we're watching the field go by, ladies and gentlemen. www.rubbingsracing.co.uk will get you your ticket to some of the cleanest, fastest sim racing as we see Demobi take an inside move there against that Audi of Travern, clearly making a position, but Travern still fighting back on the outside, now has the line and lets Demobi get through, and we see Thorsten Schmidt now in that other green Porsche, his teammate behind him. The Audi separates them two. In behind him is Lion's Foot in that Ferrari under pressure by Duftino. Watching these two guys battle at it. Yasko back to 9th place. Started in 9th place and still in that 9th place position right now. He's got to gingerly make his way up through this field as he knows the full damage is completely on, and they got to be extremely careful because any kind of damage can put somebody back. Evan is off the track, spins around, hits the barrier, looks like he's coming up the field. Everybody gets out of that okay. This is the back of the pack, ladies and gentlemen. It's PT, Duftino, Yasko. Looks like Duftino's going backwards. Not sure what's going on with his car, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking a look at this here. We see Travern, Thorsten Schmidt, Lion's Foot, Yasko, Duftino. It's PT. Let's get rid of the interface and check out this battle here. As we see Travis with the CH now taking over the lead. Travis with the CH, let's give him a little bit of time here, ladies and gentlemen. Travis with the CH taking the lead away from NRP in that Audi. Coming down to turns 14 and 15, Rivaza, as you see that orange and painted up car, that number 37 McLaren, doing a great job. Sounds really good. You see him get way out on that curb. Hopefully doesn't get any time penalties for that. You see him out front. You see Nicky in second. Clark now coming across the line in 3rd place in that number 86 AMG. Hear him screaming. Demobi now to 4th place, and Thorsten Schmidt should be coming into the frame as well, followed by that angry pack of cars behind him. These GT3 drivers really know how to muscle these cars around this track, ladies and gentlemen. Very difficult track, very strict track limits, and these guys do it like nobody else. Looks like there's a little bit of contact going on back here. Heard somebody go around. Yasko looks like he goes around. Don't know if he suffered any damage there. Unfortunate for him. We've seen that last week too, but he's able to claw his way back up through the field, I'm sure here. Looks like Travern is going to let him by. May have been a little incidental contact between them two. Great sportsmanship on the track as Yasko comes down through turns 5 and 6, headed down towards this big left-hander, turn 7. Back to the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Travis with the CH, still doing it in great fashion, coming around turn 7, down the hill towards Aqua Mineral, coming up over this hill. A lot of elevation, like I mentioned earlier on this track, so these guys are working. They're coming down the hill, having to braking downhill into turn sections. And right there you can see the leaders. NRP in 2nd place. You see Clark behind him. You see Demobi now coming into the frame. You see Thorsten Schmidt in 5th place. It's PT closely being followed by Scotty Lyons, foot back there, and Duftino up to 8th place. Yasko dropping all the way back to 9th place, 13 seconds off the lead. Travern with that Audi all the way back to 10th, and 11th place is Evan. You see a lot of damage on the front end of his car. He's going to have to go in and call on his pit crew and try to get that car taped up back out on the track to get as many points as he can out of today's race, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for all of your comments. As always, all of your love, all your support. If you like what you're seeing on the stream, give us a thumbs up. Give us a like, and subscribe. Give us a subscribe to the channel. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you think you would like to see. And we're always root for your favorite driver. If you don't have one, just pick one, man. All these guys are really good at what they do. As we're watching this battle between the Audi and the AMG, Uniclark able to take that position away from NRP. Now Uniclark on the move up to 2nd place, tracking down that McLaren driven by Travis with a CH. Going to the standings, ladies and gentlemen. As of last week, Yasko VR in the lead right now with 68 points in the standings, not in this race, in the GT3 standings. As of last week, Jasko VR leads the standings with a 68 points. Thorsten Schmidt with a close 3-point deficit to 65 points, but after that victory there between him and Yasko, not much is going to change. They may be tied, but Yasko really needs to get it together in this race and get back up towards the front. You see Thorsten's running in 5th place and Yasko running in 9th place. And here comes the rain, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of raindrops falling. I can see them on the camera, so yes, a little bit of light rain for the race here. So looks like the rain is starting to fall. Some of these guys are going to stay out. Some are going to elect to take pit stops here. Duftino in 3rd place in the points. And at 54, you have Bruce Law coming in, tied with It's PT at 48 points. So 20 points separates 5th place to 1st place, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a pretty close season here. But like I said, right now the big loser is Yasko. Where's Yasko at right now? Yasko coming around turn 15, headed down the front stretch. Are these guys going to pit? Are they going to stay out there? And it's just calling for a little bit of light rain. So we're going to have to see what the racetrack gives these guys and what the weather model decides what they're going to do. Let's go on board here with It's PT. Where's It's PT? Coming down around turn 2 here. Take a look on his windshield here. Don't see much rain on the track at all right now. I don't see any rain on the windshield whatsoever. So maybe that was my imagination. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd seen it raining. Yeah, it is raining. Maybe it's just not showing it on the stream. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the track here and see what happened. Oh, maybe they just have really good Rain-X on their windows. We're not sure, ladies. But yeah, I see a little bit of rain falling there. So confirmation from the track that it is raining. Travis with a CH doing a fantastic job out front as he comes down the hill here towards Aqua Mineral. Great to have him running out front, especially in that McLaren. And you see Uniclark behind him and Nicky behind him, behind Uniclark, as you see him coming through Aqua Mineral underneath the Dunlop Bridge, starting up the hill. You can see Travis with a CH with a pretty comfortable lead now, about a 1.5 second lead over the first place position. You see Demoby now being followed closely by Thorsten Schmidt. It's PT all by himself. Duftino coming in up to 7th. Pretty comfortable spot there. There's really nobody pressuring him, and he's not really racing hard to get anybody. Yasko gaining a position up to 8th place. I do apologize. That is my Great Dane puppy in the background. He must have found something interesting in the house, ladies and gentlemen. If you do hear that dog barking, Humphrey, my Great Dane, is saying hi to the world. Stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen, as we are in this time of crisis, in the world crisis. Stay safe. Always make sure to keep your hands clean. Do what your local government, local doctors, and local authorities tell you to do to try not to make this any worse. And if you're just tuning in, or if you're tuning in later on to watch this stream, this is a germ-free, friendly, clean environment. Safe environment for everybody to enjoy as we're watching Yasko now up to 7th place. We have Demoby into the pits. Don't know if Demoby, we're not sure if he's going to take tires or if he's just going to do, looks like they have tires out there and he may take tires. You see the some of the beads of water starting to form on the camera here, keeping an eye on that bat, or on him in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. Back here to the battle for the lead. I'm going to see, keep the camera on Nicky, but we see all three of these guys within striking distance, and then Thorsten Schmidt in the frame as well as they come around turn 7, ladies and gentlemen. Rain is falling, but the sun is still out on track. No, I don't see any spray in the air at all, so it may be just a quick shower, just enough to grease the track up enough to irritate the drivers. I know it irritates me. Travis with the CH in first right now, the Uniclark in second in that AMG, and that Audi occupying that third position. 3 different manufacturers, 3 different drivers, and 3 different spots, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to lap 8 out of 25. 8 out of 25, ladies and gentlemen. This is our series, or round 2 of our GT3 series here at Imola. If you tuned in Thursday night, I said earlier, we ran our GT4 for our 25th running of Thursday Night Lights. It was absolutely epic, man. We had a great time. Demobi took both of those wins, had a lot of practice here at the track for Thursday night, and right now, currently, Demobi was into the pits. It looked like he had a pretty long pit stall, and now he's back to 11th place, and we're going to let these guys cycle it out. He was running up in the top 5, I believe, so should cycle back out depending on what these guys decide to do and how long this rain decides to stick around. We're not sure, ladies and gentlemen. But Travis with the CH, not bothered by the rain, out front right now. Still holding about a 1-second lead. Pretty comfortable out front. You see NRP come through that section of track and down to turn 7. A little bit sideways coming out of there and back on the power. You hear that Audi going up through the gears. Thorsten Schmidt now back to 4th place coming up the hill. And then it's PT, your top 5, coming out up onto the hill behind Thorsten Schmidt. Duftino to 6th, and Yasko now up to 7th as he's the final guy coming out of turn 7 up the hill here for a while. You see Lion's Foot all the way at the bottom of the hill, back to 8th place with that early season change to the Ferrari. Not sure if he's happy with that decision or not, or just needs a race or so to figure out the handling on that. Meanwhile, back to 2nd place, all these guys, looks like Uniclark, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, Uniclark and NRP. This battle is developing here, and Thorsten Schmidt, we know how fast he is around the track. Let's take a look at some of the timings here, ladies and gentlemen. Travis with the CH with a 1-second penalty. So anything we see now, Uniclark currently has 0 penalties, keeping his nose clean. So right now, if the race were to end, Travis with the CH would take the victory, but not by much. Keeping an eye on that 1-second penalty. NRP also with a 1-second penalty, so these guys have to be careful manipulating this track, especially into the rain. Get rid of that speedometer, ladies and gentlemen. Duftino with a 5-second penalty. That's going to be costly at the end of this race. And then Demobi with a 10-second penalty. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he slid into the pits. Maybe, not sure what happened, but that is unfortunate for Demobi. That is going to sting at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. There are the penalties. You can take a look at the timings while we're on here. Best lap so far looks like it's going to be set by 1:45.1, set by Thorsten Schmidt, it looks like. We have Travis with the CH and Uniclark with almost identical times at a 1:45.754 and a 1:45.740. You have a 1:45.8 set by It's PT and 1:45.5 set by Yasko. So a 1:45.5 set by Demobi as well. So still some pretty quick times around here, ladies and gentlemen, as the rain's starting to fall. Don't see any spray off the tires yet, but I'm sure track conditions are starting to change. Lap 9 out of 27. Laps are starting to wind down a little bit. Going to head towards the evening hours, so the track's probably not going to dry up too well. Track temperature is 93 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ambient temperature outside is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, ladies and gentlemen. Travis with the CH still out front of the pack here, all by himself, able to put some separation between him and Uniclark. See Uniclark coming into the frame, and Thorsten Schmidt in 4th place behind NRP, and then it's PT now rounding out the top 5. Duftino should be coming into the picture, and Yasko also, as well, as they come down the hill around the corner here, keeping an eye on these guys coming to the pit lane entrance. Travis elects to stay out. Looks like Uniclark elects to stay out. NRP, it's PT, and Thorsten Schmidt now electing to come into the pit with Duftino and Yasko. 3 of the top 5 guys now into the pits, and now we're going to see what these guys are going to do with their strategy. Do they take tires? Still sunshine, but still light rain on the track, ladies and gentlemen. You see him slide into his pit stall. You see Thorsten Schmidt is down. Looks like they may put tires on that thing. We're not sure. Not sure what the graphics showing us here. Let's go see what Duftino's up to. Still with that single wiper going in that Lamborghini, and Duftino and Yasko in the pits as well. Thorsten Schmidt is down. Duftino still in the pits, and Yasko still in pits as well. Yasko's down and out. Extended pit stop for Duftino. He's got to try to make and break and try to make up time on that. Back up to the lead between NRP and Uniclark. You see NRP all over the rear of Uniclark, and this is good news for Travis with a CH, because he has now put a 3-second gap between him and this battle between Thorsten or NRP and Uniclark. Both of these guys battling for this second position. Meanwhile, Travis with the CH in that McLaren. Out front, we have a McLaren, we have 2 AMGs and 1 Audi in the top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Lions Foot rounds out the top 5, but he's 20 seconds back off of the lead. So these 4 guys have not pitted yet as they come down to the final corners here, turns 14 to Ravazza. As you see now the spray starting to come off the tires. Looks like Uniclark goes around again, able to spin it out, get it back on track, not lose a bunch of time. But we're going to see what Uniclark does here. It looks like NRP, it's PT, and Uniclark, it's PT. Travis with the CH. The leaders are in, ladies and gentlemen. Where is Lions Foot? Lions Foot coming out of turn 14, headed around towards turn 15. Probably going to elect to go in with the leaders if he hasn't gone in yet. We're going to see what his pit crew manages here. Lions Foot also in the pits. Traver now in that Audi coming out of the final corner. Let's see what Travis with the CH, our leader, is up to. Still in the pits, up on the jacks. Traver now in that Audi coming up to the start finish line. We can hear somebody is down and rolling. Who is down and rolling, ladies and gentlemen? It looks like it's NRP is down, and Travern takes the lead with the Audi. Good position for him to be in right now. Looks like NRP is down, it's PT is down, Uniclark is down. Travis with the CH, the big loser in that one's going to lose 3 positions on pit road with that McLaren. He's got to have a few words with his pit crew after the race here, ladies and gentlemen. Thorsten Schmidt, where is he at now? Coming by everybody coming out of pit lane, up to 3rd place, still 16 seconds off of the lead. Not sure if Travern has pitted yet, but NRP and Travern, the 2 all Audis, are now in command of this race. 13 seconds separates both of them. Thorsten Schmidt up to 3rd place. It's PT back to 4th place, and Uniclark now up to 5th place. That's your top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 11 out of 27. The laps are winding down. A little more than halfway to go yet here. And like I always do, I'm going to take my customary ride along. And since Travis with a CH has been so good today, once we get back to the line, I think I am going to ride along with him today, just to give him a heads up. So get all your bugs out and get all the grease in your elbows lubed up, because you got a show to put on here. No pressure, no pressure. We'll get back here to the Moby, all over the back of the Lions Foot, coming out of turn 7 up the hill towards turn 8, ladies and gentlemen. Rain is still falling, sunshine still out. Don't see a rainbow in the cloud, but these guys are wishing there was a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow as the track conditions continue to decrease here. Side-by-side action, the Moby in the green Porsche. Lions Foot to the inside in that Ferrari with a late early season change, I'm sorry. And both of these guys have to get off the throttle as you see the Moby now coming to in that picture here. And like I promised, ladies and gentlemen, getting rid of this interface, going into the cockpit with Travis with a CH. Now the coming up to the line here. Where is Travis with a CH coming here? And we're going to get a good view here of what he's seeing out his window anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Going to Travis with a CH, currently in 6th place. Was leading the whole entire race, pitted, was a big loser into the pit lane, and now we are going to go on board with him, ladies and gentlemen, for a customary ride along, as we always do in Kenbo 76's lobby here, in through turns 2, 3, and 4. You can hear the rain on the steel on the outside of the car. It's probably carbon, and you can see him going way wide there, losing the car, and now he's got back out on track, coming into this chicane area here, turns 5 and 6. This is a very difficult section of track, even when the track is dry, ladies and gentlemen. coming here down to turn 7, making this hard left-hander. Got to be gingerly on the throttle, try not to spin it out. Like I said on Thursday Night Lights, a lot of guys, especially myself, like to get throttle happy on that, making power, coming up the hill. I hate this turn with a passion, but Travis with a CH2 and a groove. You see him all the way to the inside, back out on that curb, trying to stay off of it to regain as much traction as he can. See the windshield wiper is at full speed here, coming down to Aqua Mineral, coming up the hill here, making more horsepower. You can hear the wheels slipping as it tries to gain traction, trying to make as much horsepower as it can coming up the hill here through this final chicane area. This is turns 11 and 12, Variante Alta. Getting out on that paint, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, he had a 1-second penalty when we left him last time, so we're going to check the penalties here in a lap or two, see where these guys are at. Coming down the hill here around turn 13 here, and then this hard left is turn 14 as you see Uniclark and the, I'm not sure who that is in front of him. I should know by memory, but as he comes around turn 14, ladies and gentlemen, turn 15, up around turn 16, back to the start-finish line, with a spray in his face, rain in the air, waving to his fans. Travis with the CH with your customary ride along for our Sunday evening GT3 series. Give it up for Travis with the CH. Thank you, Travis with the CH. We appreciate it as always. Let's go back here to the lead and see what's happening right now. NRP all over the back of Thorsten Schmidt. Looks like Travern must have made either a mistake or a pit stop. Probably not a pit stop because he's all the way back. He's only 7 seconds back, so this is an epic battle developing here between the Porsche and the Audi. The Audi in that all-wheel drive power. I do believe it's an all-wheel drive powered car versus that rear-wheel drive powered Porsche. This is where the performance of the Audi really stands out in these wet conditions and slippery conditions. It can be a little oversteery though when you got that all-wheel drive, but boy, when you want to get the power to the concrete or the pavement or the tarmac or the blacktop, whatever it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Audi will do it in these kind of conditions. And that famous Quattro all-wheel drive system that they have, it is absolutely amazing right now. Currently, this is the battle for the lead. Thorsten Schmidt has it. Thorsten Schmidt took our sprint race win very easily for the most of the race. Not very easily, I'm sorry, not very easily. He led most of the race by about 2 seconds, and then towards the end of the race, his tires must have went away as we've seen Yasko VR climb up on the back of him in the final laps. Yasko, unfortunately, had a second lead on top and was able still to maintain second position, but Thorsten Schmidt able to take the victory in the sprint race. After the stream, you can go back and check out the highlights on that. You can fast forward it to all the good parts. That's what I like to do. I don't encourage it. I want you to watch the whole stream, but I don't blame you. I would do the same thing. NRP now dropping back off of the pace a little bit from from Thorsten Schmidt, as Thorsten Schmidt comes up to the line here for lap 14. Halfway through, ladies and gentlemen. We are halfway through this race. There is 13 laps remain, 27 laps total in here. Most of these guys have taken a pit stop, and light rain is in the forecast for the remainder of the day. 71 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature, so the track temperature is coming down. The evening is starting to set, and the sun is starting to set in towards the evening hours. Don't think we're going to get into full darkness, but started at 2 o'clock, at times 5, I believe. So we're going to be heading towards the evening hours, so the track conditions are not going to get any better for these guys. These guys are going to try to have to maneuver these cars around there. You can see the lines are drying up a little bit coming up the hill there. Let's go back here and see what Uniclark is coming around the corner. You can see that driving line. Maybe I'm seeing things coming up the hill. It looks like it's starting to dry up a little bit there on the pavement. You see what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen? We'll try it one more time here with Demobi coming up the hill. Looks like it's not completely wet. There's still a little bit of grip out there somewhere, and that's a pretty cool graphic as you see Demobi coming up over hill towards turn 8. But let's go back to the action and see what Travis with a CH is up to now, getting up on back of its PT, and now Yasko into the picture. But Yasko, remember, has that 10-second penalty, so by rights it looks like he's 18 seconds off of the lead. But Yasko's still a competitor at heart. Does not care about those time penalties. He wants to go door to door, side to side with these guys and prove that he has what it takes to be at this top tier level of racing in this GT3 series, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested in what's going on in Rubbings Racing, we are in our second week of our second series of 2020, or our second season of 2020, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few seasons going on. Starting off Sunday mornings, which is not televised or broadcasted. It's just an interleague thing for some of the open wheel guys. We host a one of the mods. Murphy hosts a Formula Renault open wheel lobby for those guys Sunday mornings. That's 10 a.m. GMT time if you're interested. And if you're in the league, you want to get a hold of him, I think there's still spots available. Them guys have a ton of fun over there. I hear about it every morning, but 10 o'clock to them is 5 a.m. to me. I'm not getting up that early to race. I've been up that late to race before, but I've never gotten up that early to race, if you know what I mean. It's been one of them kind of times. Anyway, watching Travis with the CH. Try to handle its PT here and Yasko right now. This is for that third position. Its PT has it. Travis with a CH wants it. And Yasko's just sitting back here watching these guys. Hopefully they make a mistake as we still see the rain coming down as the forecast called for it, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday evenings, we have our GT3 race, our GT3 series, which is very popular. Very fast guys in here. That is every Sunday night at 8 p.m. GMT. We do 6-week seasons. Right now we are in our second season and our second race, so there are 4 races left in this series. And if you're interested in where we are going next week we are going to be where are we at next week? We are at Spa. Yes, we are at Spa next week, ladies and gentlemen. Circuit of Americas after that. Watkins Glen for our 5th race, and then finally ringing it out in the west coast of the United States of America with Sonoma. So we're going to be all over the map here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be absolute great fun. Tuesdays we have our touring car divisions. That is 2 different divisions. We have the Touring Car 1 and Touring Car 2. Touring Car 2 exists of the Clio Cups, which is just a mini version, and they normally do the mini version track. They try to replicate the track there. Great fun. We don't broadcast that, but if you want to get involved with that, I think there may be a waiting list to try to get in there. Lots of fun. Them guys are super competitive, and them cars are really fun to drive. Tuesdays we also do broadcast and announce on the Touring Cups with the Touring Cup Series. A lot of really fast guys in there. That's also at 8 p.m. GMT time, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday nights is always our famous Thursday Night Lights. I have a lot of fun doing that. If you missed it last Thursday night, we were here with the GT4 class. A lot of guys had a lot of fun. It was our 25th episode last week. Huge achievement, huge accomplishment for everybody involved in it. And then it's a random car, random track. And it's a lot of fun. Guys have a lot of fun doing it. It kind of just brings a little bit of life back into the same mundane running practice laps for a GT3 or a GT5 race. And speaking of GT5, Friday nights, 8 p.m. GMT time, our GT5 race is absolutely insane. Last week we were at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. It was really a good race. If you guys didn't catch the highlights, check it out on the on our YouTube. Next week we are at Sonoma National in the GT5s, so it's going to be a really tight, tricky technical track, so stay tuned for that. Saturday we have the LMP2 divisions. There's no Bruce Law, who is no longer in the lobby with us. We think he disconnected or maybe have lost power. We're not sure what happened, but good to have him. Always good with us. We know he's really fast. There's a few other guys that are really fast in that league. So that's the state of Rubbings Racing, ladies and gentlemen. We are alive and healthy and doing well, busting at the seams with people trying to get into these championships. So please sign up, www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. And if you like what you're seeing on the stream, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe and like button. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you for all your love and all your continued support as we go around Imola here. Jay Palm's chiming in saying anyone with wet tires. I'm not sure. I didn't really hear anything. I would imagine they probably would have shifted to wet tires. As we take a look at the timings here, yeah, they're at 145s, 146s. That's a pretty competitive time on a wet tire. They were running 144s and 143s, I believe, on slicks. So I could be wrong. These guys are really good at what they do. So right now, keeping an eye on Travis with the CH. Fending off Yasko, we see it's PT in second or third right now. NRP, not sure what happened to him. He was in a great battle with Thorsten Schmidt, and now Thorsten Schmidt once again checking out. It's PT coming in third. You see Travis with the CH and Yasko rounding out the top 5. Another 5 seconds back to Uniclark. Should be coming down around the hill here directly. Uniclark doing a great job in that AMG Demoby should be coming into the frame here as well. You see him up to 8th place or 7th place with a 10-second penalty, though. That is unfortunate for him, as you see him come around the corner, up around Aqua Mineral, and drive out of the frame. Lion's Foot coming down the hill right now, coming around turn 7 and headed down the hill in that Ferrari. Looks like he's having a little bit of a hard time with the handling here today at Imola. It's hard enough in the dry, let alone when you get some rain involved. So doing a great job. Lap 17 out of 25, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, 25 laps. It's 25 or 27? 25. 12, 25. 18 out of 25 as they come to, as we're watching, taking out in this battle here between It's PT and NRP. Both of these guys now, NRP falling off the pace. You see him 8 seconds now off of the lead. He was now 10 seconds off of the lead. He was 8 seconds off of the lead a lap ago. So losing time to Thorsten Schmidt, and Thorsten Schmidt showing everybody how it is done once again. Very impressive guy. Very, very impressive on the track. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, we did give you a little bit of a bio. He has been with Rubbins Racing here for quite some time, and I like to go down and give some bio about these guys anyway. There's a couple guys up here. Uniqlo, I'll go back to the list. I'm sorry, ladies, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. It's PT and NRP side by side. It's PT now taking that position away from Nicky as they come down around turn 7 and up around turn 8 here, Aqua Mineral. Let's see what It's PT is able to do. Sun's still out, but the spray is now in the air. It's PT going way out wide, still making horsepower. Probably going to get penalized for that unless he slows down. We're not sure what the race director is going to do with him. But in behind him now we see Yasko and Travis with the CH going backwards. Travis with the CH back to 5th place after leading the race for most of the first part of this feature race, ladies and gentlemen. Made a pit stop, lost 3 positions in the pits. Unfortunate for him. That was a big error on his pit strategy part there. NRP now up to 3rd. It's PT currently in front of him. We've seen that battle taking place. Yasko trying to erase a 10-second lead right now. And if it were to end, Yasko would finish probably in 8th place, it looks like. So he needs to put a little bit of distance between him and Demoby. Demoby. Demoby is in 7th place. So yeah, he'd be back around 6th place. Rain is still falling as we're keeping an eye on this battle between It's PT, NRP, Yasko, and Travis with a CH. Oh no, It's PT getting sideways, out of the corner, out of shape. It looks like Yasko is going to try to make a move to the inside, thinks a little better of it, gets on the brakes just a little bit, backs it off, as he knows it's a very difficult situation here. Watching this battle here between NRP, It's PT, Yasko, and Travis with a CH. I want to thank all these guys for showing up tonight and being on track with us, give you guys, the viewers and the fans, something to race about. We are going to talk about... we see Nicky here in that 3rd place position, or 2nd place position, trying to fend off It's PT. And I'm going through the through some of the bio. You see It's PT driving that number 71 Hot Wheels AMG all over the back of NRP. A little information on It's PT. He's 28 years old. He said he's been racing Project Cars 2 for about the past year. He's involved with AOR and SCL leagues. Who isn't? You know, huge NASCAR fan, but enjoys driving the GTE and the LMP2 cars. Currently races go-karts in New England and is part of the United States. Looking forward to some clean racing. He did give me another bio update from that. I hope that's the right bio. I know he did. He said he is living in D.C. now, so doing some other things in the world now. It's PT. I kept calling him It's TP last week, ladies and gentlemen. And he is not a wigwam. I promise you, he's not a Native American living hut. It's a PT on track right now. Currently in 3rd place, chasing NRP. Yasko now up to 4th place, and Travis with a CH round out the top 5. If you're keeping track, ladies and gentlemen at home, it is lap 20 out of 27. 7 laps remain as the race winds down. Still a little bit of light rain as the temperature continues to drop. 69 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. 62 degrees Fahrenheit is the outside temperature. They almost match each other. Temperature is dropping rapidly, so the tires are probably going to start to cool down a little bit in this rainy condition. And look at its PT trying to hold on for dear life on that AMG. He's about sideways out of every corner he comes in. You see the wheel moving back and forth. He's really in there sawing on that wheel, trying to keep the front end of that AMG planted, that big giant Mercedes-Benz with that 20-foot hood on that thing. Great cars, beautiful cars. They sound great, but man, they are difficult to drive. But it's PT doing a great job, making a move to the outside around turn 8, coming down, turn 7, coming down the hill towards Aqua Mineral. Can he do anything with him? That the AMG to the inside, and he got the Audi now to the outside. He's got to be careful. Yes, he overshot it just a little bit. I was gonna say I was a little concerned about it, but still stays on the power in that all-wheel drive. And look at this pack of guys here coming, ladies and gentlemen. That AMG to the inside, that Mercedes driven by HPT, now being cut short by NRP, making an aggressive move coming in there. Yasko now side by side, losing a position to Travis with the CH. All this is going on with 6 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. This is for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. These are the top 5 guys, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in to see where Thorsten Schmidt is, he is checked out, and see you later. He is on an airplane somewhere, gone out of the zip code. Not sure where he went, but doing what he does like only he does it. Thorsten Schmidt leading this race by 21 seconds right now, in command, just on cruise control. We are bringing you the action from 2nd to 5th place right now. And Uniclark also looks like he's trying to come up in this battle. As these guys continue to set battle side by side, that is going to allow Uniclark to catch up. 2 cars go way wide. Travis with the CH into the sand, and Nikki into the sand as well, allowing its PT to come screaming around the corner there. You can see him completely sideways as he's trying to fend off a hard-charging Yasko VR coming through this 2nd chicane area here. You can see he's all kind of sideways. Now Travis with the CH taking that 3rd position away, and NRP losing, the big loser there, going back to 5th place. Uniclark there looking out his window, pretty happy about what's going on here, because now that has allowed him to get in contention to maybe taking a top 5 position. 21 out of 27, ladies and gentlemen. 6 laps remain as Thorsten Schmidt comes across the line. Let's take a look at some of the timings. Thorsten Schmidt penalty free. Its PT is penalty free. Yasko also penalty free. Our first big penalty comes to Travis with a CH. Shame with a 32-second penalty. That is going to be costly. NRP coming in with a 1-second penalty. That is manageable. Uniclark still penalty free right now, doing a great job behind NRP, staying on top of him. Looks like he may be able to get a top 5 out of this, maybe a top 4, because of that 32-second penalty of Travis with a CH. We're going to hear about that after the race, I'm sure. Currently running 7th with a 10-second penalty. We're going to go all the way down to Duftinho with a 5-second penalty, all the way in 11th place. So those are the penalties, ladies and gentlemen. If you were listening to me ramble, probably looking at some of the lap times, everybody's pretty much running 145s and the top 5 guys, and then you're flirting with the 146s. So all the guys are pretty consistent with lap times right now. They're just trying to figure out how to get around each other as we're watching Uniclark try to close the gap between him and NRP. NRP has a 1-second penalty, and right now it's about 1 second that separates these two. As you see, Demobi comes 7th there through the frame around down towards turns 2, 3, and 4. Let's go back up here and see what its PT is up to right now. Still fending off a hard-charging Yasko. Both of these guys, or Yasko has a 10-second penalty. No, Yasko does not have any penalties. That's right. I think these top 3 guys are penalty free. Let's go take a look here. Yeah, Yasko does not have a penalty. So the top 3 guys do not have penalty. This is for position between Yasko and its PT. Travis with a CH and NRP currently on track battling with each other, but Travis with a CH with a huge penalty, not only with a huge mistake by his pit crew in the pits, ladies and gentlemen, a 32-second penalty from the race director to add insult to injury. A little bit of salt to that wound for Travis with the CH after having a fantastic start to this feature race in that McLaren. He's going to go home with his head hanging low, you know, pretty bummed out, but he'll get it back together for next week when we visit Spa, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 22 out of 27. Time is running down. 69 degrees is the track temperature. 62 degrees is the ambient temperature, and that is in Fahrenheit, watching Yasko try to take the position away from its PT. Now let's go see what NRP and Travis with the CH are up to. Currently running about 3 seconds apart from each other, but Uniclark now in behind, coming into the frame, as well as Demobi. You can see him coming down the hill in the frame as well. Lionsfoot way back in the field with a early season change, moving to that Ferrari. Normally pretty good in the rain, but struggling with that Ferrari today. Good to have him on track, though, as always. Where is our leader at? Currently 22 seconds and putting more time on everybody's. You see Thorsten Schmidt handling that neon green and black Porsche coming through turn 7. That number 85 Thrustmaster GT Porsche, GT3 Porsche coming up the hill here, ladies and gentlemen. Giving him the time where it's due, all by himself, under no pressure at all, coming up the hill here. And let's go back here and see what Uniclark's trying to do with NRP. And oh no, we have Travis with the CH off the track. Has to be careful re-entering. It's very slippery conditions. Got to be careful and mindful of these guys now back in line behind NRP. NRP able to take that 4th place position back. And Uniclark now about a second behind them. If Uniclark can stay within a second and not gain any penalties. Let's see where Uniclark is at. Uniclark currently has 0 penalties, so as long as he can keep his nose clean and keep the penalties away from him, looks like he may be able to come in with a top 5 finish here, or top 4. But right now we're watching that time battle between Uniclark and NRP. If you're watching on the left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, NRP currently 26 seconds behind the lead. Uniclark currently 27 seconds behind the lead. You see Uniclark now getting sideways, coming up Aqua Mineral into the wall, just gives it a love tap. Don't think there's going to be any damage on there. Maybe the body guys might have to scuff a little bit of paint out there, or a little bit of paint, because he might have a little bit of paint from the wall. But unfortunate for Uniclark, goes around. Let's go back here and see what NRP is up to. And Travis with a CH now. Travis with the CH doing a great job, leading, like I said, early stages of the race. Was in command by about 3 seconds at one point, but a costly pit stop cost him a ton of positions, and then he ended up with a 30-plus second penalty. So big day for him, but still good to see his effort and his sportsmanship out here. Not putting it to bed, still wants to give these guys a challenge, knowing that he can be a determining factor in a position or somebody else's race here. Very clean, very respectful drivers, and if you want to get involved in what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, we do this every Sunday night at 8 p.m. GMT, our GT3 series. 6 seasons, or 6 races in a season, and right now we are on our 2nd season of 2020. Race 2, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get involved, www.rovingsracing.co.uk. You'll see the link there. It says register as a driver. Brand new, newly designed website. Doing a great job. Lecky has done an absolutely fantastic job in designing that website. So take a look, buy us a coffee if you want to donate. All the proceeds always go back into the community. We do this for free and for the love of the game. Never charge anybody to play it, as it is always free. So if you guys want to get involved, like I said, www.rovingsracing.co.uk. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, once again, getting down to the final laps. 3 laps remain here. I believe, is it 27 laps, correct? 25. Yeah, 25 laps. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. 25 laps. I kept saying 27. I'm sorry. It's 25 laps. Coming to the final lap as Thorsten Schmidt comes out of the final corner. Going to ride on board with him. Give him the view, or give him the credit where it is due. Coming to the line under the bridge for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, Thorsten Schmidt coming down to turn 1. They're going to gingerly put it through turns 2, 3, and 4. I want to congratulate Thorsten Schmidt for a great season so far. Seen him last week. We've seen him this week in the GT3. Been in command and doing an absolutely fantastic job in this GT3 series. And every other series that he's in, very respectful racer, very clean racer, and very fast by the looks of it here, as you see him now come down towards turn 7. If you missed it in the qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of information on Thorsten Schmidt here. 30 years old, from Berlin, Germany. Our German driver, he said he loves the GT3 cars. And ladies and gentlemen, it shows here coming around turn 8 as he comes down the hill. Been sim racing for about 5 years, and he likes tight, clean, fast racing. Fan of the GTE, GT4, and the touring cars as well, but his favorite is the GT3. As you see him now coming up behind Duftino, for his victory lap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the track as he comes down to the final moments of this race, coming through the final chicane for the final time, waving to all of his fans. You see his fans cheering for him in the rain. Got some hard-fought and hardcore fans here, ladies and gentlemen, rooting for their drivers. And like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. And once again, Thorsten Schmidt doing it in style, ladies and gentlemen, putting a huge gap between him and second place. We're going to go to see what NRP is up to here in a second. As Thorsten Schmidt comes across the line, you see Duftino in the background waving, flagging his lights and waving his flag out the window to his fans. Thorsten Schmidt, congratulations on another solid sweep of the weekend. Congratulations to you. Yasko BR now up to second, but has a 10-second penalty, but still wants to make a statement here to the rest of these guys, saying the track marshal might not like me, but I'm going to let you know that I'm still up here and I'm ready to stay. Unfortunate 10-second penalty for Yasko, but still doing what it takes to get across that line. Second, it's TP coming across the line in third, side by side, still battling at the line here, even though they know the penalty is there. You see NRP coming across the line in fourth place, ladies and gentlemen, doing an absolutely great job in the Audi. Travis with the CH with a huge time penalty. We don't know where it's going to filter out. Demobi, our race, he finished third, I think third or fourth. Ended up finishing late in this race. Ended up coming across in fifth place. Also has a 10-second penalty. Travis with the CH in sixth. Clark coming across the line in seventh, ladies and gentlemen, in that AMG. Lionsfoot with an early season change here in the Ferrari, unable to make that chicane. Him and Travern, you see these guys going to come back to the line pretty much side by side. Scotty's just happy to put it to bed, ladies and gentlemen, flashing his lights saying, hey, you're good to come over. I'm ready for a cold one or an energy drink or a pillow after a long night in the rain here with our GT3 race. We've seen Evan come across the line earlier. Thank you, Evan, for showing up as always. And that is our race, ladies and gentlemen. Lionsfoot and Travern. Going to bring it across to the line one more time. Once again, congratulations to Thorsten Schmidt. You see these guys flashing their lights, giving him a huge congratulation. Yasko coming in second. It's PT coming across the line, finishing third. And once we go to the official timings, we're going to see where it all shakes out, ladies and gentlemen. Thorsten Schmidt coming across the line first. Yasko coming across second. Oh, no, Yasko did not have a time penalty. That's right. I forgot he didn't. That was Duftino. Yasko coming across second with a very, 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 very good finishing to that race. It's PT doing a great job holding on in that AMG. NRP rounding out in the top four with that 1 second penalty, but still able to hold off Clark for that top 5 position, ladies and gentlemen. Demobi rounding out top 6. Travis with the CH doing a great job in the early stages, but fell off at the end of the race there and ended up finishing in 7th with that huge time penalty. Travern and the Audi in 8th. Lionsville coming in 9th, and Evan rounding out the top 10. And ladies and gentlemen, those are the contenders here for our race. If you guys want to tune in next week, we are going to be at Spa. We're at Spa. I don't know, Spa GP or whatever, but we are going to be at Spa, and it's going to be absolutely ridiculous fun, ladies and gentlemen. With the GT3s, these guys are session for everybody here at Rubbings Racing. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and until God bless and good night.